Elections are just over, and every legislator is trying to see what kind of position he could get for himself or herself. But the job of a legislator is to put the economy in the right direction, on the right course. And there are some things that every legislator must look at if he wants to save the country. And now I'm going to talk about what must be done. Hi, this is RN Bhaskar. Welcome to our Bhaskar Ki Business Baatein. It's good to have you with us once again. When we look at the Indian economy, an economy works on the basis of analysis of what must be done, what can be done, and what should not be done. To arrive at these decisions, you need data. And the biggest data set that is required in a country is the Census of India. Remember, the census is not something new. The first census was done in 1881. And since that time, every 10 years we've had a census. The last census we had was in 2011. The census of 2021 was not done, ostensibly because of the COVID years. In other words, this country is running on data that is as old as 2011. The country needs to update this data. Without the census, you will have many problems, you'll have wrong conclusions, you'll have wrong estimates, and the economy may go the wrong way. The census is important because of many other flaws that our system has. One of the biggest flaws that this country has is we still do not know how many people have died. Why? Because when people die, in many places, deaths are not registered. And even if they're registered, they're not medically certified. So you do not know the cause of death. To rectify this, you need a census, because the census knows how many people are alive, and those people, if they are on the rolls of the living who are not there, they have to be removed quickly. We have a second flaw. When the COVID deaths took place, we thought only a certain number had died. When Lancet, with the help of NGOs, conducted a survey in India, we found that at least 10 times more the number had died. Which means that many people are being shown as alive when actually they are dead. That needs to be corrected. And for that, the census is important. Even if you ignore the COVID deaths, you find that 44 lakh people are not shown as dead every year, which means in a period of 10 years, you have a very large number. There's a third problem that we have, and this problem has to do with the Aadhaar cards. What many people do not realize is that there are 9 states in India where there are more Aadhaar cards than even the population of the states. These states are Lakshadweep, Delhi, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Punjab, Telangana, Haryana, and Uttarakhand. Each of these states has more Aadhaar cards than the population. What does this mean? It means the Aadhaar cards are there. Bogus Aadhaar cards are floating around. Each Aadhaar card can get a PAN card automatically. Each Aadhaar card and PAN card can get a bank account open automatically. And when you have these 3 documents, you can get an election card automatically. So possibly there are more election cards than the voters themselves. This is another error that needs to be corrected. And that is why the census becomes crucially important. There's a fourth problem. Between December 21 and February 23, some states suddenly saw an explosion in the number of Aadhaar cards given. As many as 20 states saw a spurt in Aadhaar cards during this period. And this period was just before the elections. The top 5 states where there was a spurt in Aadhaar cards are Meghalaya, Assam, Mizoram, all 3 northeastern states, Uttar Pradesh, and Manipur, the 4th northeastern. These are only the top 5. There are 15 more. When you have such glaring discrepancies, you need to set this right. And the only thing that can set this right is the census. Census looks at people who are alive, finds out who the members of the family are, finds out what the income is, finds out that they've got a telephone at home, mobile phone, landline phone. They find out whether they've got a cycle, a scooter, a motorcycle, a car, whatever. They find out what kind of business you have. All this data plus other kinds of data goes into a database, and then you can see how many people belong to the low middle class, how many people belong to the middle class, how many people are affluent, and how many people don't have any jobs at all. It's a more accurate measure because people go from door to door, check out the details in the house, cross-check the details with the neighbors, and then arrive at a comprehensive database. The census is a rigorous exercise. It needs to be done. We've not done it in 21. We should do it immediately. The sooner, the better. There are two other issues. The government passed an order that all Aadhar cards can open bank account numbers. Earlier, when you wanted to open an account, the manager would go to your house, check out, or need a documentation, or you need two witnesses to sign, yes, I know this person. Now the Aadhar card can come and you can get a bank account number without further checks. Now if there are bogus Aadhar cards going around, you have a bogus account number. Then the government brought in another rule that all Aadhar cards and bank account numbers must get a compulsory PAN number. So if there are bogus Aadhar cards, bogus bank numbers, you have bogus PAN cards. And when you have all these three things together, you can get an election card, and that is dangerous for elections. There is one more area that needs to be cleared. All payments to beneficiaries are made through the NPCI, the National Payments Corporation of India. The government gives to the NPCI a series of Aadhar card numbers. NPCI matches those Aadhar card numbers with bank account numbers. NPCI takes the latest bank account that you've opened and overwrites, erases the previous account number, which is stupid. I've taken money in the previous bank account number and now you've erased it, you've overwritten it. Now, if I'm a bogus player, I get money, next day I open another bank account number, the old account numbers are erased, I take money once again from the government. Effectively, there's no traceability of how many times bogus transactions have taken place. NPCI in its notes carefully mentions that they do not keep any record of past transactions. It mentions that it overwrites accounts. This rule of NPCI needs to be modified so that we have greater audit trails of how much money has gone from the government to the beneficiary. When you take all this together, you realize why the census is important. And now there's a clamor already for caste census that can be done along with the census. Let the caste be known. There's nothing which is as good as sunlight. As they say, sunlight is the best disinfectant. You have a problem in the country, get more data out, you'll have better solutions, and the country can really become a great country if you begin with a census and proceed logically. Thank you for being with us. And do subscribe to my channel so that you get reminded about such programs, because we give information that people seldom know about, but which are crucial to the health, well-being and prosperity of India. Thank you once again.